Hi, this is Kevin Stewart Builds 250. I'm Kev, and this is stage 18 of Build the Ghostbusters Ecto-1. Okay, so stage 18. It's the last of the stages from issue 6. So once this is done, we're waiting on the next subscribers pack, which will be issue 7, obviously, which is going to be 19, 20, 21, 22. Looking at this magazine, I think that's going to be body panels or underside body panels. So yeah, the model's going to be coming together. It's going to be, you know, as big as it is, and it's heavy. These are metal parts again. Not really a lot to do in this one. It is just really just the front chassis part, and then I think he calls it the chassis skeleton parts. Just putting them on, so it's not going to be particularly complicated or long build, which I don't always complain about that, but let's get into it. Let's get into the build for stage 18. Okay, so parts laid out there for stage 18. Chassis parts, and it's the first of the underside of the chassis and front part. Yeah, as I say, all laid out and all present and correct, including the screws. Okay, so the first part, the chassis is the front part is quite metal, so it's reasonably heavy. Again, it's going to be metal screws in this issue, so I'm going to be using the oil that I use just to help the screws in. Seems to be working quite well. So yeah, so that's metal, and the other parts are kind of plastic that go and attached to it. Okay, so first part, yeah, is fitting the chassis parts. So I'll turn the chassis over. And the first one we're fitting is left chassis part. Yeah, these plastic parts, they are marked. I don't know if you can see that L on that one. So that's the first one I'm going to be fitting in. We've also got obviously a pin, a locating pin. So we're going to be putting that in. So we turned it over and we're going to be facing this into that. So you've got one hole for the pin, locating pin, and one hole for the actual screw that's going to go in. Okay. And we're going to be fitting that in with an EM screw. This one in. And then the one with the R on it, the right one. So, place, locating pin in first, and then that's it, and then, yep. An EM screw with a little bit of oil on it. Really, I'm just putting like a little dab of oil, very, very little. But it is helping massively with these metal screws. And just wipe off kind of any excess oil that I put on. But I'm not using much anyway, so I'll do any excess. Okay. Okay, so the next part is we're just bringing over the chassis with the engine mount, obviously from the last issue. And we're going to be fitting this. So we're leaving it the right way up, turning the chassis plate the way around. Yeah, there's 4 screw holes on here. We're going to be fixing that with, I think it's a DM screws. Yeah, DM screws. As always, when putting screws in for like this, I won't be tightening it up. I'm just leaving it loose, so it's got a bit of movement on the chassis plate until I've got all 4 in. I'm also doing them called diametrically opposed. So that one, that one, that one, that one. Helps with the alignment. Okay, so when all four are in, I'm going around and tighten them up. Feel that suspension moving on the chassis. Working suspension. Impressive. Okay, so that's all on. And now comes a part that I thought I could do before, where it was like, I was going to put this on before to prevent having to turn it over and balance it on its air filter, which I don't particularly like doing, because it's quite heavy now. Just putting in these items, which is calling chassis frame skeletons. Once again, we've got an L and an R. So one's marked with an L, one was marked with an R, which obviously says which one goes where. 18D is the left one. Okay, and that's going to be going in first. It's in that orientation there. Okay, and that's fitted in with a HM screw. Okay, right, nice easy issue there. All fitted on, and that's what it looks like with the chassis plate on. Coming together nicely. Okay, so stage 18 done there. Not a great deal to do, but obviously it's just putting on chassis parts, and it's heavy and it's coming together. That's a nice weighty metal part again, and it's coming together. And as I say, I think on the next issues, issue 7, stages 19, 20, 21, 22, it looks like it's all going to be parts for the underside, for the chassis. So it's probably going to be more of the same. Okay, so one thing you might have noticed from my build of the engine, it's pretty much stock. I've painted a few parts, but I haven't really gone in for any of the major weathering that I've seen on the Facebook group that a lot of people are doing. Now, it's just personal preference, really. Some of the pictures on the Facebook group are absolutely stunning. Some of the work that the people are putting into these builds, just amazing. Very talented individuals who are doing all the weathering to the engine block. Probably, a lot of them are saying they're going to be doing the same to the bodywork and the dulling out, making it really, really screen accurate as it came out, because it obviously was, in the film Ghostbusters 1, it was a beat up vehicle. It wasn't showroom vehicle that they bought brand new. It was a really beat up. So they are really going in for it and giving it that screen look. And that's, as I say, absolutely personal preference, and they're putting in some major hours and doing some amazing work. And I'm not putting down what they're doing at all. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But as I say, with me, it's personal preference. I'm going for almost the restored museum quality kind of look. It's been on display, if you like. It's where you'd see it. If you went to see it today, I'm sure that it would look almost showroom quality, polished and everything like that. And that's the look I'm going for, and that's the look I like. I can't imagine myself like beating up the panels and weathering them. So I guess it's personal preference whether you go for the screen accurate look or the restored kind of museum quality, kind of on display in the Smithsonian or wherever this car is, kind of look. And that's the one that I'm kind of going for. So I won't be doing any of the weathering. Might do a bit of detailing, and I do like the Mike Lane mods. There's been a lot of discussion on the chat, on the groups about the number plate, about how it should look, the front license plate, because screen accurate it is at the angle, because it's kind of held on by one screw. But I'm getting the Mike Lane mods that are going to be more to my taste, which is kind of, as I say, the museum quality. So it's going to look not exactly as, a lot of discussion on whether it's screen accurate or not, but that's not the look I'm going for. And it's definitely not something that we kind of did with the DeLorean and the DeLorean build. There was the mods, obviously, but there wasn't really too much weathering going on. People weren't really weathering the engine and all that kind of stuff. But they've really gone for it on this build, and there's some, as I said, some amazing work going on. Just not for my personal preference. We're going to have this on display next to the DeLorean, and the DeLorean is almost restored quality. But I guess in Back to the Future, the DeLorean was almost a new vehicle that Doc had just put his time circuitry modifications on. So two slightly different vehicles there. But as I said many times, it's personal preference. It's up to whatever you want to do. But hey, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for tuning into the channel. If you like the progression of this build or any of the other builds, then please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click the bell if you'd like to be notified anytime that a video goes live. But until next time, stay safe. Hope to catch you again on the channel soon, but ta-da for now.